My precious child, this is not a coincidence. This is not random. And this is not just another video you casually found while scrolling. Archangel Michael warns, stop immediately. God says you have only 10 seconds left, where you will lose everything He planned for you. Open this now. Yes, you heard it right. 10 seconds. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not someday. 10 seconds in the spirit realm can shift the entire direction of your destiny. And right now, heaven is leaning close to you. Archangel Michael is standing on assignment over your life. His sword is not raised against you. It is raised against the confusion, distraction, and delay that have been circling your house. There is a decision forming in your heart. A move. A reaction. A message you were about to send. A door you were about to close. And God is saying, stop immediately. You have no idea what is attached to this moment. What looks small on the outside is massive in the spirit. What feels harmless could cancel years of preparation. What seems like a simple choice could either unlock divine favor or delay it. Listen carefully. There are blessings already drafted in your name. Opportunities already assigned. People already positioned. But heaven works in partnership. And in the next few moments, you are being tested, not to fail you, but to elevate you. Archangel Michael speaks with urgency because this is a turning point. You thought this week was ordinary. It is not. You thought this house you are living in is just walls and furniture. It is not. There are spiritual transactions that happen in physical spaces. Words spoken inside your home carry weight. Decisions made under your roof echo into your future. And God is saying, pause. Because something is about to be revealed. There has been a subtle shift in the atmosphere around you. Have you felt it? A tension, a restlessness, a strange urgency in your spirit. That is not anxiety. That is a warning wrapped in mercy. Archangel Michael has been dispatched to guard what heaven planned for you. But he will not override your free will. He will warn you. He will guide you. He will signal you. And this is the signal. If you proceed carelessly, you could align yourself with a path that looks fast but leads to emptiness. If you slow down, pray, and obey, you will step into something that feels slower but carries divine permanence. 10 seconds. It represents the window between impulse and obedience. Right now, your flesh wants speed. Your emotions want reaction. But God wants alignment. There is someone connected to your environment whose intentions are not fully clear yet. You sensed it. You ignored it. You brushed it aside because you did not want conflict. But heaven does not ignore what you ignore. Archangel Michael sees what you cannot see. Conversations behind closed doors. Hidden motives. Silent envy. Subtle manipulation. Not to create fear, but to create awareness. You are not being attacked because you are weak. You are being watched because you are chosen. The enemy does not fight empty destinies. He fights loaded ones. And yours is loaded with impact. That is why this warning is sharp. Because what is coming next in your life is greater than what has been behind you. But greater levels require sharper obedience. There is a door about to open. Financial shift. Restoration. Expansion. A divine connection. Something you prayed about quietly. But right before breakthrough, distraction shows up. And this distraction looks reasonable. It looks justified. It looks emotional. But it is a trap disguised as urgency. God says, you have only 10 seconds left because once a word leaves your mouth, once a decision is signed, once a bridge is burned, consequences activate. He is not threatening you. He's protecting you. Archangel Michael's presence right now is not symbolic. He is strategic. He is guarding the blueprint of your life. And you are standing at a fork in the road. One path feeds your ego. The other feeds your destiny. One path reacts. The other waits. One path satisfies now. The other secures forever. Do you understand why this is serious? There are generational blessings attached to your obedience in this moment. Children you have not met yet. Doors you cannot imagine yet. Influence you have not stepped into yet. All of it can be delayed by one rushed move. This is why you felt drawn here. Because heaven refuses to let you lose what was already written for you. Take a breath. Slow down your thoughts. Ask yourself, what decision was I about to make? Who was I about to trust blindly? What was I about to quit? What was I about to say in anger? Now hear this clearly. If you surrender this moment to God instead of your emotion, the timeline shifts in your favor. But if you rush, you may spend months repairing what could have been avoided in seconds. Archangel Michael stands as a warrior of clarity. His assignment is to cut off deception and expose false alignment. And something hidden is about to be exposed. Very soon, truth will surface. Very soon, motives will be revealed. Very soon, you will understand why this warning came exactly now. Do not panic. Just pause. Because heaven is not against you. It is fighting for you. And in the next moments, your response determines whether you walk into divine acceleration or unnecessary delay. This is not fear. This is mercy. This is not pressure. This is protection. And seconds. That is all it takes to choose obedience over impulse. And the fact that you are still here listening means you have not missed it yet. Beloved soul, something just shifted the moment you chose to keep listening. That pause you took was not small. And the spirit, it echoed like thunder. Archangel Michael is not speaking to you randomly. He is intervening because a silent countdown had already begun around your destiny, and you were seconds away from stepping into something that would have drained your strength. You may not even realize what you almost did. That is how subtle it was. Sometimes the greatest losses do not come from dramatic mistakes. They come from small compromises, a rush agreement, a careless conversation, a decision made under emotional pressure. And heaven saw that pressure building around you. There is someone who has been studying your reactions. Someone who knows your soft spots. Not necessarily an enemy in obvious form, but a person who benefits when you act without thinking. And this is why Archangel Michael stepped forward like a warrior guarding a gate. Because gates are meant to control what enters and what exits. Your home is a gate. Your mind is a gate. Your mouth is a gate. And right now God is guarding your gates. You were about to open one. The plan that God has for you is detailed, is layered. It includes promotion, restoration, and a divine shift in your environment. But those plans require discernment. They require patience in moments where impatience feels justified. There is a financial door forming for you. There is a conversation that will elevate you. There is a relocation or rearrangement coming that will align you with favor. But if you tie yourself emotionally or contractually to the wrong person right now, you create delay. And delay is expensive. Archangel Michael's warning is not about fear. It is about focus. You have been distracted lately. Your thoughts have been scattered. You have been overthinking one area while ignoring another. And the enemy loves scattered focus because scattered focus weakens spiritual authority. But listen closely. The very fact that you feel convicted right now means the Spirit is still guiding you. You were not meant to fight this battle emotionally. You were meant to fight it strategically. There is something about your speech. Words have power, and lately you have been tempted to defend yourself loudly, to prove your point, to expose someone prematurely. But heaven is saying, silence in this moment will protect more than noise ever could. Archangel Michael stands not only as a warrior, but as a protector of timing. Timing is everything. If truth comes out too early, it creates chaos. If truth comes out at the appointed time, it creates clarity. And you are being prepared for clarity. That is why you must resist reacting in these hours. There is also something about your inner circle. Not everyone clapping for you is aligned with you. Not everyone advising you is hearing from God. Some advice sounds practical but lacks spiritual depth. You need discernment more than agreement. You need alignment more than applause. And this message is sharpening that discernment inside you. Now hear this carefully. The next few days are critical. Conversations will test your maturity. Opportunities will test your patience. And emotions will test your obedience. Do not rush. Pray before you respond. Pause before you commit. Reflect before you sign anything. Archangel Michael is guarding your destiny, but he is also watching how you steward your choices. And let me speak directly to your spirit right now. If this message is resonating deeply, if you feel that inner confirmation that this is not random, then do not stay silent. Engage with this word. Like this message so more people who are standing at their own 10-second decision can receive clarity. Share it with someone who feels pressured right now. Comment what you are choosing to surrender in this moment. And make sure you are connected here, because the guidance unfolding around your life is not finished. There are deeper revelations coming. What is about to be exposed will shock you, but it will also free you. The person you thought was blocking you may actually be revealing themselves soon. The situation that looked stable may reveal cracks. And when it does, you will remember this warning and understand why you were told to stop. Do not underestimate this season. Heaven does not interrupt without reason. Archangel Michael intervenes when destiny is near. And destiny is near for you. You are closer than you think to the breakthrough you have been praying for. But breakthrough requires separation from what drains you. You were about to carry something that was not assigned to you. You were about to defend something God is about to remove. You were about to fight a battle heaven already won. And that is why this warning came with urgency. You still have the advantage. Because you paused. And what happens next will reveal just how protected you truly are. Keep listening carefully, because what is about to unfold next will connect pieces you did not even realize were connected. Chosen one, the silence you are practicing right now is louder in the spirit than any argument you could have made. Something has been moving behind the scenes for weeks, and now it is reaching the surface. Archangel Michael did not interrupt your path because of a small inconvenience. He intervened because exposure is near. There is a pattern you have been ignoring. A tone in someone's voice that changes when certain topics come out. A hesitation. A redirection. A subtle attempt to gather information without giving clarity in return. You felt it before, but you told yourself you were overthinking. You were not overthinking. You were discerning. And now that discernment is about to be confirmed. God is preparing to reveal something that had been hidden in plain sight. Not to embarrass you. Not to shame anyone. But to protect the future He designed for you. What is being exposed is not random behavior. It is a strategy that has been quietly operating around your environment. There is a reason tension has increased lately. There is a reason communication feels slightly strained. There is a reason certain conversations leave you drained instead of strengthened. It is because alignment has shifted, but loyalty has not adjusted yet. Archangel Michael stands as the defender of truth. His assignment in this season is to separate illusion from reality in your life. And when truth surfaces, it will make everything make sense. You will look back and say, "That is why I felt unsettled." You will remember the warning and understand that heaven was not being dramatic. It was being merciful. Someone close to your space is about to reveal their true intentions, not through confrontation but through behavior. Their own actions will expose what words tried to hide. And when it happens, do not react with anger. React with gratitude, because exposure is protection. You were about to make a long-term decision based on incomplete information. You were about to invest time, trust, or emotion into something unstable. And God said no. You may feel a wave of disappointment when the truth becomes clear, but do not confuse disappointment with loss. Sometimes disappointment is the removal of what would have caused greater damage later. Archangel Michael is not only cutting off deception, he is clearing space for new alliances, clearing space for divine connections, clearing space for partnerships that honor your calling instead of competing with it. There is also something about your house. The atmosphere hath been heavy at times, not constantly but in moments. That heaviness is lifting. The moment truth is exposed, peace will return to your environment in a way you have not felt in months. Pay attention to the timing. When the exposure happens, it will align with an opportunity. As one door reveals its cracks, another will quietly open. That is not coincidence. That is divine replacement. God never removes without preparing better. Archangel Michael's warning about 10 seconds was not about fear of losing everything. It was about preventing you from locking yourself into something that would have limited everything. You are not losing your destiny. You are being redirected toward it. And the redirection is happening faster than you realize. Some of you listening are about to receive a phone call, a message, or overhear a conversation that confirms this word. Others will notice small inconsistencies that grow impossible to ignore. When it happens, do not confront immediately. Pray first. Let heaven guide your response. Because how you respond to exposure determines the speed of your elevation. Bitterness delays. Wisdom accelerates. Archangel Michael is preparing you to move with wisdom. There is strength rising inside you. A calm strength, a mature strength, a strength that no longer needs to prove itself loudly, and that strength is what will carry you into the next level. What was meant to confuse you will clarify you. What was meant to slow you will strengthen you. What was meant to distract you will refine your focus. You are not behind. You are being aligned. Take a deep breath and recognize something powerful. The very plan you feared losing is still intact. In fact, it is becoming clearer. The illusion had to break so the blueprint could shine. And now heaven is watching your response. Will you cling to what feels familiar? Or will you trust what feels guided? The next step you take after exposure will define the pace of your breakthrough. Archangel Michael is still guarding you. His presence does not leave after the warning. It remains through the transition. And this is the moment where you choose trust over panic. Type "I choose divine alignment" in the comments if this is speaking directly to your spirit. Blessing code 1444 has just been released over your house and your future. And as this alignment unfolds, understand something deeper. When you sow into light, you participate in light spreading. Scripture declares, "The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty." This is not ancient poetry. This is God speaking directly to you now. When you release support through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are sowing into a harvest of awakened souls. I feel led to say this clearly. I am responding to heaven's call in this moment. Let your giving become a prophetic act that pushes this message into homes that are seconds away from the wrong decision. As you sow, may oil of protection rest over your house, and may doors open that no one can shut. Step into obedience now and activate the flow. Faithful listener, what you are stepping into now is clarity after confusion. The fog that surrounded certain relationships and decisions is beginning to thin out. You may not see the full picture yet, but pieces are aligning in quiet, undeniable ways. Archangel Michael remains stationed near your destiny, not with urgency now, but with precision. Exposure has either already begun or is unfolding subtly. You may have noticed a sudden change in behavior, a distancing, an overreaction, or even an unexpected confession. These are not random emotional swings. They are pressure revealing what was hidden under the surface. Truth behaves like light. It does not argue, it illuminates. And when light enters a room, shadows cannot negotiate their stay. Here is something important you must understand in this moment. Not everyone who walks away from you is a loss. Some departures are divine editing. God is refining your circle before expanding your territory. The plan He has for you requires a certain spiritual maturity in those around you. It requires loyalty that is not threatened by your growth. Archangel Michael's role in your life right now is not only to defend you from attack, but to guard your peace during transition. Peace is not weakness. Peace is authority under control. When you refuse to react emotionally, you maintain spiritual leverage. The person who thought they could manipulate your reactions will become confused by your calmness. They expected confrontation. They expected drama. Instead, they will encounter distance and dignity. This is your power. There is also something shifting in your mindset. You are no longer as eager to please everyone. You are beginning to recognize that overextending yourself has drained you more than it has blessed you. That realization is growth. God is teaching you boundaries. And boundaries are not walls of pride. They are fences of wisdom. In the coming days, you will feel prompted to reorganize certain areas of your life. This could be your schedule, your finances, or even your living space. Do not ignore that instinct. It is part of the alignment process. Physical order often mirrors spiritual order. Archangel Michael stands as a warrior of structure. Where chaos once tried to creep in, structure will now take root. You will find yourself saying no to things you once tolerated. You will become selective with your time. And strangely, doors will begin opening more easily. Because clarity attracts opportunity. There is an invitation coming your way. It may seem small at first, but it carries significance. It could be a meeting, a collaboration, or a conversation that positions you differently. When it comes, you will feel peace rather than pressure. That is your confirmation. Pressure is not from God. Peace is. You are learning to discern the difference. Another important detail: do not revisit what God just revealed. When exposure confirms misalignment, resist the temptation to fix what heaven is removing. Some people will attempt to re-enter your space once they realize access is changing. Be kind, but be firm. Your destiny cannot afford emotional recycling. Archangel Michael's sword represents separation when necessary. Not destruction, but division between what serves your calling and what suffocates it. A heavy feeling in your house is lifting. You may even sense lighter conversations, easier sleep, or unexpected calm. That is not imagination. It is spiritual atmosphere adjusting. You were carrying tension that did not belong to you, and now it is being lifted. Financial clarity is also coming. There was confusion about an investment, an expense, or a partnership. That confusion will dissolve. Information will surface that helps you make a wiser decision. Do not rush that process. Let the details come fully into view. You are entering a season where wisdom will protect you more than speed. And here is something deeper. The delay you feared was actually divine pacing. Had everything happened when you first wanted it, you would have brought the wrong people into your next level. Now, your circle is being filtered before elevation. Elevation without filtration creates instability. God is preventing instability. Archangel Michael continues to guard the blueprint of your future. That blueprint includes influence beyond what you currently imagine. It includes stability that feels unfamiliar because you have lived in survival mode for too long. Survival is ending. Stability is beginning. You will notice your prayers changing. Instead of asking for rescue, you will begin asking for refinement. Instead of pleading for quick solutions, you will request wisdom for long-term impact. That shift is maturity, and maturity unlocks favor. As clarity increases, gratitude must increase with it. Do not focus on who was removed. Focus on what was preserved. You did not lose your destiny. You lost within. There is strength in you that you have not fully recognized yet. This season is revealing it. The next revelation will show you why timing had to unfold exactly this way. What appears delayed is actually synchronized. And when synchronization becomes visible, you will understand that nothing was wasted. Keep your spirit steady. Keep your responses measured. Because what is forming around you now is far more solid than what just left. Steady heart. You are beginning to see what heaven saw before you did. The urgency that once surrounded this warning has now transformed into revelation. The pieces are no longer scattered. They are forming a pattern, and that pattern is showing you who truly stands with you and who was only standing near you. Archangel Michael is not stepping back. He is adjusting position. When a battle shifts from defense to advancement, strategy changes, and your life is no longer in defensive mode. It is entering preparation mode. Preparation always feels quieter than breakthrough, but it is more powerful. There is a deep internal recalibration happening inside you. Your tolerance for confusion has decreased. Your patience for half-truths has thinned. You are no longer willing to carry relationships that require you to shrink your discernment. That is growth, and growth attracts new territory. There is something about your future that required this cleansing. You have been praying for expansion, but expansion without purification creates cracks in the foundation. God refused to expand you on unstable ground, so He purified first. You may look around and notice that your circle feels smaller. Conversations feel fewer. Notifications feel quieter. But peace feels stronger. That is not isolation. That is refinement. Archangel Michael guards refined spaces differently. When the unnecessary noise leaves, clarity speaks louder. You will begin to hear ideas more clearly. You will receive creative insight. You will feel prompted toward decisions that align with long-term vision rather than short-term emotion. There is also an upcoming test of consistency. Not a dramatic test, but a subtle one. You will be tempted to revisit something that once felt familiar. It may not even be a person. It could be a habit, a mindset, a comfort pattern. and it will whisper to you, "This is easier." But easier is not always a line. Remember why the warning came in the first place. You were seconds away from choosing what was comfortable over what was called. Now that you have clarity, do not drift backward. The next season of your life requires discipline. Not harsh discipline, but focused discipline. Managing your time intentionally. Guarding your words carefully. Being selective with what you agree to. Your agreement carries weight. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to your agreements. In the spirit realm, agreements are binding, and heaven wanted to prevent you from binding yourself to delay. There is also financial alignment taking shape. You may notice a new idea emerging about income or stewardship. You may feel prompted to save differently, invest differently, or collaborate differently. Pay attention to those nudges. They are not random. God is repositioning you for sustainability. What is coming is not a temporary blessing. It is a stable shift. But stability requires structure. You are being structured internally before you are elevated externally. Emotionally, you will feel stronger. Not because challenges disappeared, but because your reaction to them changes. Situations that once drained you will now seem manageable. Conversations that once intimidated you will now feel neutral. That neutrality is authority. Archangel Michael's presence has fortified your spirit. You are no longer reacting from fear. You are responding from discernment. And discernment is a weapon. There is also someone new observing you quietly. Not in a harmful way, but in an evaluative way. This person sees your integrity. They see your restraint. They see your maturity in how you handle exposure and transition. And that observation will open a door. Not immediately, but soon. When that door opens, it will not come with chaos. It will come with clarity. And you will recognize the difference instantly. You are stepping into a season where peace will become your compass. If something steals your peace, you will know it is misaligned. If something strengthens your peace, you will know it is positioned by God. The house you are living in will feel different. Conversations will shift. Energy will stabilize. Even your sleep may deepen. Atmospheres change when truth is established. And truth has been established. Now comes rebuilding. Rebuilding is not dramatic. It is steady. It is intentional. It is daily choices that accumulate into transformation. Archangel Michael is still guarding the blueprint. But now, instead of preventing loss, he is protecting construction. You are building something that will outlast this season. You are building credibility. You are building resilience. You are building wisdom. And wisdom will carry you further than charisma ever could. Do not underestimate how significant this transition is. You avoided a delay that could have lasted months. You avoided an attachment that could have cost you peace. You avoided an agreement that could have drained your resources. Heaven intervened. And you listened. That obedience has activated acceleration. The next shift will not feel forced. It will feel natural. Like stepping into a room that was already prepared for you. Because it was. Keep your spirit aligned. Keep your boundaries firm. Keep your focus sharp. What was meant to derail you has now positioned you. And what is approaching carries confirmation that this warning was not about fear. It was about favor. Brave soul, what you are experiencing now is the calm after spiritual intervention. The urgency that once pressed against your chest has been replaced with clarity, and that clarity is strengthening your steps. Archangel Michael is no longer signaling you to stop. Now he is signaling you to move, but move wisely. There is momentum forming around your life. You may notice small victories stacking up. A conversation that goes smoother than expected. An opportunity that appears without struggle. A sudden solution to something that was confusing you weeks ago. These are not random improvements. They are evidence that alignment has begun. When you chose obedience over impulse, heaven recalibrated timelines. And recalibration brings acceleration. However, acceleration must be handled carefully. The same speed that advances you can overwhelm you if you lose focus. This is why discipline is becoming essential in your daily routine. The decisions that seem small right now are laying the foundation for something greater. You are being trained to handle the increase. Increase in responsibility. Increase in visibility. Increase in influence. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian not only of protection, but of preparation. When favor increases, scrutiny often follows, and your recent restraint has built a reputation in the spirit that will soon reflect in the natural. There is someone watching how you handle growth. A leader, a decision maker, or someone with authority in a specific area of your life. They may not say much yet, but they are observing your consistency. Keep showing up with integrity. Consistency will speak louder than talent. Another layer of clarity is unfolding in your home. Conversations are becoming more honest. Energy feels less tense. The heaviness that once lingered is dissipating. You may even feel inspired to rearrange, clean, or refresh your space. That urge is symbolic. When environments shift physically, it often reflects spiritual renewal. Archangel Michael's earlier warning about stopping prevented you from attaching yourself to chaos. Now you are free to build without interference. But do not assume that distraction will never attempt to return. Distraction does not always look negative. Sometimes it looks exciting. It can appear as an offer that seems flattering, but lacks long-term stability. It can show up as attention that feeds ego but weakens focus. Stay grounded. Your strength right now is not loud ambition. It is steady discernment. There is also an internal shift happening in your confidence. You are not doubting yourself as much. You are trusting your instincts more. That trust is not arrogance. It is spiritual awareness. You have learned from what was almost lost, and that lesson has matured you. Financial opportunities are also approaching. They may begin as ideas or subtle invitations. Do not rush them. Evaluate carefully. Ask questions. Pray before committing. The lesson from earlier still applies. Speed without wisdom creates instability. But wisdom with timing creates expansion. Archangel Michael is still guarding your agreements. Be selective about what you sign, what you promise, and what you verbally commit to. Your word is becoming more valuable in this season. Yard it. There is another important element here. Gratitude must anchor your progress. When things begin improving, it is easy to forget the tension that once existed. But remembering where you almost stepped incorrectly will keep you humble. Humility preserves failure. You are stepping into a visible shift. Not everyone will understand how quickly things begin aligning for you. Some may even question it. Let them. Your growth is not for universal approval. It is for divine purpose. If this message continues to resonate, let your response match your conviction. Engage with this word. Share it with someone who feels they narrowly avoided a wrong move. Speak your alignment in the comments. And ensure you remain connected here, because the unfolding around your life is progressive, not accidental. What is building right now will make even more sense as the next layer reveals itself. The days ahead will test your consistency more than your courage. Courage was needed to stop. Consistency is needed to sustain. Archangel Michael's presence signals that you are not navigating blindly. You are being guided strategically. The doors that open next will not require force. They will require readiness. Readiness means preparation before opportunity knocks. You are preparing. You are refining. You are stabilizing. And stability is more powerful than sudden success. There will be a moment soon when you realize how close you came to delay. And instead of fear, you will feel gratitude. Gratitude that you paused. Gratitude that you listened. Gratitude that heaven intervened. That gratitude will fuel your next decision. Keep your focus sharp. Keep your spirit disciplined. Keep your peace guarded. Because what is approaching now is not fragile. It is firm. And you are finally ready to handle it without losing yourself in the process. Momentum is forming. And this time, it is aligned. Watchful one, you are standing at the edge of manifestation. What was once a warning has now become confirmation. The tension that surrounded your earlier decision is no longer present because the threat of misalignment has passed. Archangel Michael did not simply prevent loss, he positioned you for revelation. And revelation is now unfolding in real time. You are beginning to see the contrast between what almost happened and what is actually happening. The difference is striking. The path you were about to choose would have required constant defense. The path you are now walking requires steady confidence. There is peace in your movements now. There is assurance in your speech. There is clarity in your thoughts. This is not coincidence. This is the fruit of obedience. Something significant is forming behind the scenes. Conversations are happening about you in rooms you have never entered. Opportunities are being discussed without your presence. Doors are being considered in your name. And you may not even be aware yet. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold of those unseen spaces, ensuring that what is being shaped for you is aligned with your calling. The protection you received earlier was not temporary. It was strategic positioning for what is ahead. There is a person who once underestimated you who is beginning to reassess. They are noticing your restraint. They are noticing your growth. They are noticing that you did not collapse under pressure. That observation will alter how they treat you moving forward. Respect earned through silence is stronger than respect demanded through noise. You are also feeling a deeper sense of internal stability. The emotional swings that once defined your reactions have quieted. You are not as easily shaken. Situations that once consumed your thoughts now pass through your mind without taking resonance. That is strength. Archangel Michael's presence often brings fortification before expansion. He ensures that when doors open, you are not emotionally fragile. Because fragility cannot sustain favor. Favor is coming. But it will not feel chaotic. It will feel natural. There is an upcoming moment that will confirm everything you sensed during the warning. It may be a revelation about someone's true motives. It may be an unexpected opportunity that arrives precisely when you least expect it. It may even be a summoned clarity about a path you hesitated to take before. When it happens, do not second-guess it. Trust the alignment. Your discernment has sharpened. Your intuition has matured. Your spirit has been trained. You are no longer operating from fear of losing everything. You are operating from confidence that what is meant for you cannot be stolen when you walk in obedience. There is also something shifting in your environment. The house you are living in feels different. The air feels lighter. The energy feels less congested. You may even sense that conversations flow easier. Atmospheres adjust when protection activates. Archangel Michael's intervention created spiritual clearance. And now that clearance is allowing growth. Growth may not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like routine discipline, waking up with focus, completing tasks without procrastination, speaking with intention, choosing rest over reaction. These small habits are building momentum, and momentum creates visibility. There will be a moment soon when you are recognized for something you almost sabotaged through haste. That recognition will not be accidental. It will be the result of divine timing aligning with personal discipline. You avoided what could have delayed you. Now you are stepping into what can accelerate you. But acceleration requires humility. Do not forget the lesson of the 10 seconds. Do not forget how close you came to reacting emotionally. That memory will keep you grounded when doors begin opening wider. There is a new connection approaching your life. Not one rooted in manipulation, but one rooted in mutual respect. This connection will not demand you shrink. It will encourage you to grow. You will recognize it by the absence of pressure. Pressure suffocates. Peace empowers. Archangel Michael continues to guard the blueprint of your destiny. The blueprint includes relationships that strengthen you, not drain you. It includes opportunities that challenge you constructively, not destructively. You are entering a season of discerned expansion. Expansion that is thoughtful. Expansion that is stable. Expansion that is sustainable. There is something powerful about the way you handled exposure. You did not retaliate. You did not explode. You did not collapse. You listened. And listening activated protection. Protection activated clarity. Clarity activated growth. Now growth is activating favor. Do not rush ahead of this process. Let it unfold fully. Let each confirmation settle deeply in your spirit. Let each new opportunity be evaluated through the lens of peace. The warning that once felt urgent now feels wise, and wisdom is carrying you forward. Stay steady. Stay grounded. Stay aligned. Because what is about to manifest will confirm that you did not lose everything. You preserved everything that mattered. Anointed listener, the shift you feel now is not imagination. It is manifestation beginning to breathe. What once existed only as a warning has now transformed into visible movement. Archangel Michael did not sound the alarm so you could live in fear. He sounded it so you could step into favor without contamination. And now the favor is forming. There is a door that is no longer just an idea. It is becoming tangible. A conversation is moving toward decision. A plan is moving toward execution. A delay is turning into confirmation. You may sense anticipation rising inside you, but this anticipation feels different than before. It is not anxious. It is steady. That steadiness is alignment. You avoided a rushed agreement, and because of that, you are now positioned for a stronger one. You avoided a reactive conversation, and because of that, your reputation remained intact. You avoided tying yourself emotionally to instability, and because of that, your energy is intact. This is what preservation looks like. Archangel Michael's role in your life during this season has been protective, but now it is also preparative. He guards what is forming so that when it arrives fully, it does not collapse under pressure. What is coming to you must be sustained, not merely celebrated. There is someone who will approach you differently now. They may offer collaboration, support, or insight. This time, you will not feel the subtle manipulation you once felt with others. Instead, there will be clarity. Questions will be answered directly. Intentions will be transparent. You will recognize this as divine alignment. Do not rush to overcommit. Let it unfold naturally. The strength of this new alignment is in its steadiness. There is also a financial or professional breakthrough that is closer than you realize. It may not be dramatic at first, but it will create a ripple effect. A small yes will lead to a bigger yes. A small opening will lead to expanded opportunity. The difference between now and before is your discernment. You are no longer blinded by urgency. You are guided by peace. And peace is powerful. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to your growth. The warning about 10 seconds was not about threatening your future. It was about testing your discipline. And you passed the test by pausing. Now the reward of patience is unfolding. There will be confirmation in your environment. Someone who once doubted you will now validate you. A situation that once looked uncertain will now stabilize. A path that once felt risky will now appear clear. This is the unfolding of what was preserved. Do not let excitement cause you to abandon caution. Favor requires stewardship. Protect your time. Protect your focus. Protect your boundaries. Growth is not about saying yes to everything. It is about saying yes to what aligns. There is also healing taking place inside your home. The heaviness has lifted. Communication is becoming lighter. You may even notice laughter returning in moments where tension once lived. That is restoration. Archangel Michael's intervention removed more than a wrong decision. It removes spiritual interference. You are entering a stretch of days where clarity will feel normal. Confusion will not dominate you. Doubt will not paralyze you. You will move with assurance because you have seen what obedience produces. There is something powerful about how close you came to delay. That closeness created awareness, and awareness sharpened you. You are no longer easily swayed. You are no longer pressured into commitments. You are no longer reacting without reflection. His maturity is preparing you for something long-term. Long-term stability. Long-term influence. Long-term growth. The next sign of confirmation will be unmistakable. It will align with what you prayed for months ago. And when it arrives, you will feel both gratitude and awe. Gratitude that you paused. Awe that heaven intervened so precisely. You did not lose everything. You preserved everything essential. Type I receive what was preserved in the comments if this word resonates in your spirit. Blessing code 2888 is now released over your doors, your decisions, and your dwelling. And as you step into what was preserved, understand this. When you sow into the light that guarded you, you help guard others standing at their own 10-second crossroads. The word says that when you give, it will be poured back into your lap, pressed down and overflowing. This is not theory. It is God speaking life over your obedience right now. If your spirit is stirred, let your response be active. Support this mission through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and become part of the harvest of souls being redirected from lost to purpose. I declare that as you release your seed, heaven releases fresh oil over your house. Do not hesitate when the Spirit prompts you. Step forward now, and let your giving become a prophetic echo of the protection you receive. Steadfast one, you are now walking in the evidence of what was once only a warning. The atmosphere around your life feels different because it is different. What could have collapsed has stabilized. What could have stuttered has aligned. Archangel Michael's intervention was not temporary shelter. It was permanent redirection. You are beginning to notice patterns that confirm this shift. Conversations flow without hidden tension. Opportunities present themselves without hidden agendas. Your intuition feels sharper, not clouded. This clarity is not accidental. It is the result of obedience under pressure. There is a quiet confidence rising within you. Not arrogance, Not pride, but assurance. The kind of assurance that comes from surviving a near mistake and realizing you were protected before you even understood the risk. That realization changes a person. It makes you more careful. It makes you more grateful. It makes you more discerning. And discernment is now one of your greatest strengths. Archangel Michael's presence in your season has fortified your inner guard. You are no longer easily persuaded by emotional appeals. You are no longer intimidated by urgency. You understand now that urgency is not always divine. Peace is your compass. There is something unfolding in your professional or financial space that requires this new level of discernment. A proposal, an invitation, or a collaboration is either forming or about to surface. This time, instead of reacting quickly, you will evaluate quietly, and that quiet evaluation will protect you again. You are not meant to say yes to everything that looks promising. You are meant to say yes to what aligns with your assignment. The lesson of the 10 seconds still echoes in your spirit. Before you commit, you pause. Before you respond, you reflect. Before you sign, you pray. A discipline is creating stability. There is also a subtle restoration happening in a relationship that nearly fractured due to misunderstanding. Because you did not react impulsively, space was created for maturity. Now, communication is healing in a way that feels authentic rather than forced. Not every exposure leads to separation. Sometimes exposure leads to correction. Archangel Michael's intervention was about removing deception, not destroying connection. Where truth had been received with humility, healing is possible. However, where pride persists, distance remains necessary. Trust your discernment in both cases. Your home continues to feel lighter. The heaviness that once lingered has not returned. You may notice increased productivity, clearer thinking, or even improved rest. Spiritual clarity often manifests as physical calm. You are not living in tension anymore. You are living in intention. There is something powerful about the way your mindset has evolved. You are thinking long-term now. You are planning instead of reacting. You are evaluating risks instead of ignoring them. This maturity is preparing you for expansion. Expansion may come through leadership, influence, or responsibility. Someone may entrust you with more than before. They see your stability. They see your restraint. They see that you do not crumble under pressure, and that makes you trustworthy. Trust is currency in every area of life. Archangel Michael guards those who steward trust wisely, because when trust increases, impact increases. You may also feel prompted to invest in yourself differently. This could be education, skill development, or restructuring your daily habits. Follow that prompting. It is part of your preparation. Preparation creates confidence. Confidence attracts opportunity. Opportunity confirms calling. You are moving in a cycle of alignment. There will be moments when you reflect on how close you came to misalignment. Instead of fear, let that memory fuel wisdom. It is proof that you are guided. It is proof that you are not navigating alone. Heaven intervened because your future matters. And your future still matters. There is another layer about to unfold, something that will solidify everything you have sensed. It may involve recognition, affirmation, or a tangible reward for your discipline. When it arrives, receive it without hesitation. You did not manipulate this outcome. You aligned with it. Archangel Michael's role is now less visible but still present. Protection remains. Guidance remains. But the urgency has shifted into stability. You are not seconds away from loss anymore. You are steps away from manifestation. Keep guarding your words. Keep guarding your agreements. Keep guarding your peace. Because what is being built around you now is not fragile. It is structured. And structure sustains favor. You did not lose everything. You preserved what heaven intended. And now you are walking into what one waited for you all along. Focused one. You are no longer standing at the edge of decision. You are standing inside the result of obedience. The atmosphere around you has shifted so noticeably that even you can feel the difference. What once felt fragile now feels anchored. What once felt uncertain now feels directed. Archangel Michael did not simply block a mistake. He escorted you into momentum. Momentum is a powerful force. It builds quietly at first. A small confirmation. A resolved tension. An opportunity that lands gently rather than dramatically. Then suddenly you realize you are moving forward without resistance. That is where you are now. But forward movement requires vigilance. Just because you passed one test does not mean distraction will never try to reappear. This time, distraction may not look like conflict. It may look like comfort. It may look like overconfidence. It may look like assuming you no longer need to pause before decisions. Do not abandon the discipline that preserved you. The 10-second pause became your shield. Keep it. There is an invitation approaching that will require clear boundaries. It will seem beneficial, and it may even be beneficial, but only if structured correctly. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Do not be afraid to set terms. Your growth has earned you the right to negotiate wisely. Archangel Michael continues to guard your agreements. The spiritual lesson remains active. Agreements shape destiny. You are now more aware of the truth. There is also an expansion of influence happening around you. More people are noticing your steadiness. More conversations include your name with respect. Your ability to remain calm during exposure created credibility. Credibility attracts opportunity. Opportunity attracts responsibility. Responsibility requires maturity. You are prepared for this. In your home, the energy continues to stabilize. There is greater harmony in communication. Even when disagreements arise, they no longer escalate. They resolve. That is a sign of spiritual authority operating quietly. Authority does not shout. It settles. Financially, you may notice increased clarity. A strategy that once felt confusing now makes sense. A decision you postponed now feels manageable. You are no longer pressured by urgency. You are guided by foresight. That shift will protect you from unnecessary loss. However, remain humble. Growth can tempt you to move faster than wisdom allows. Stay measured. Evaluate each opportunity through peace. If peace remains, proceed. If pressure rises, pause. Archangel Michael's intervention taught you the power of pausing. That lesson must not be forgotten. If this message continues to align with your experience, do not stay silent. Share it with someone who is currently standing at their own crossroads. Let others know that obedience brings protection. Comment what discipline has preserved in your life. And remain connected here, because what is unfolding is not random. The clarity you walk in today is setting up a greater revelation that is closer than you think. You will want to witness how this completes itself. There is something else forming beneath the surface. A larger opportunity that requires the stability you have been building. It may involve relocation, advancement, or recognition beyond your current circle. It will not arrive chaotically. It will arrive strategically. You will recognize it by the absence of confusion. The same spirit that warned you before will confirm you again. Archangel Michael's presence in your journey symbolizes vigilance. You are not meant to drift back into careless decisions. You are meant to live with awareness. Awareness does not create anxiety. It creates confidence. You are confident now not because life is perfect, but because you know you are guided. There will be a moment soon when you reflect on how drastically different your situation could have been. You will see clearly how one impulsive decision might have entangled you in delay. Instead, you are advancing. Advancing steadily. Advancing wisely. Advancing securely. Do not rush to announce every development. Let some progress remain quiet until it is fully formed. Silence can be protection. Not everyone needs access to your unfolding. Archangel Michael guards not only your decisions but your timing. Timing remains critical. What unfolds next will require discretion before declaration. Stay disciplined. Stay prayerful. Stay grounded. Because what is ahead is not temporary favor. It is structured elevation. And structured elevation requires consistent alignment. You are no longer seconds away from losing everything. You are seconds away from stepping into something that confirms everything. Guard it well. Enduring one. You have now entered the phase where confirmation becomes undeniable. What once felt like a spiritual interruption now feels like divine orchestration. The warning that shook you has transformed into wisdom that steadies you. Archangel Michael did not only protect your future, he refined your character in the process. And character sustains what opportunity cannot. You are seeing tangible proof that alignment changes outcomes. The conversations unfolding around you are different. The tone people use with you has shifted. There is respect where there was once casual dismissal. There is openness where there was once guardedness. This is not because you demanded it. It is because you matured into it. The 10 seconds you were warned about represented more than a decision. They represented identity. Would you act from impulse or from purpose? Would you react emotionally or respond strategically? You chose purpose, and that choice has echoed forward into every area of your life. Archangel Michael's presence is quieter now, but no less real. Protection has transitioned into positioning. Instead of shielding you from error, heaven is guiding you toward impact. Impact is the next stage. There is a larger responsibility forming in your path. It may involve leadership, mentorship, or influence in a space where your voice matters. This responsibility would have crushed the version of you who almost reacted impulsively. But the version of you now is steady enough to carry it. That is growth. Growth is not loud. It is consistent. It shows up in how you handle pressure, how you handle praise, and how you handle delay. You have handled all three with increasing wisdom. There is also clarity arriving in a personal matter that once felt uncertain. A relationship dynamic is stabilizing. Expectations are becoming clearer. Boundaries are being respected. Where confusion once lingered, communication now flows more directly. Not everything that was shaken was meant to fall apart. Some things were shaken to strengthen their foundation. Archangel Michael's earlier intervention separated illusion from reality. What remains now is real. You may notice increased productivity in your daily routine. Tasks that once felt overwhelming are being completed with focus. You are no longer procrastinating from fear of making mistakes. You are acting with intention. Intention creates momentum. Momentum creates visibility. Visibility creates opportunity. Opportunity confirms destiny. You are stepping into destiny with awareness. There will soon be a moment of public or private recognition. Someone will acknowledge your stability. They may not reference the challenges you overcame, but they will sense the strength behind your presence. Receive that acknowledgement without minimizing it. You earn it through obedience. Financial clarity continues to sharpen. You are making decisions with foresight instead of urgency. Savings, investments, or strategic moves feel intentional rather than reactive. The lesson of the 10 seconds has embedded itself into your financial discipline. Pause before commitment. Reflect before agreement. Pray before action. These habits are preserving your increase. In your home, peace has become normal rather than temporary. Even when external challenges arise, the internal environment remains steady. That steadiness is evidence of spiritual covering. Archangel Michael's role was never about drama. It was about guardianship. And guardianship has now given way to growth. There is one final layer approaching. A defining opportunity that will confirm everything you have sensed over these past days. It will not arrive with confusion. It will arrive with clarity so strong that hesitation disappears. When it comes, step forward confidently. Do not shrink back from what you prayed for. Do not question whether you deserve it. Obedience position you here. There may be people who quietly observe your advancement with mixed emotions. Some will celebrate. Some will reassess their own choices. Ade Gracia. Do not let pride creep in. Humility preserves faith. You are not elevated to dominate. You are elevated to demonstrate wisdom. The near loss you avoided will remain a memory, not a regret. It will remind you of how close you came to delay. It will remind you that heaven intervenes when destiny is near. Archangel Michael sounded the warning because your future was worth protecting. And now your future is unfolding without obstruction. Stay alert. Stay disciplined. Stay aligned. Because the final confirmation is almost here. What once felt like 10 seconds away from collapse is now 10 steps away from completion. And completion carries reward. Victorious one. This is the moment everything has been building toward. A warning. A pause. The exposure. A discipline. The growth. None of it was random. None of it was exaggerated. Archangel Michael's urgent interruption was the turning point that preserved what heaven had already written about you. Now you can see it clearly. You did not lose everything. You were saved from losing what was not meant to stay. The 10 seconds were never about panic. They were about precision. They were about stopping you at the edge of a decision that would have entangled your future in unnecessary delay. And because you paused, because you listened, because you chose obedience over impulse, the outcome shifted. Look at where you stand now. Stability where there could have been chaos. Clarity where there could have been confusion. Peace where there could have been regret. Archangel Michael stands not as a warrior in battle now, but as a guardian over fulfillment. The sword that once signaled urgency now represents completion. What was protected is now established. There is a final confirmation unfolding in your life. A decision that works in your favor. A door that opens without strain. A conversation that brings resolution instead of tension. When it arrives, you will feel something powerful. Relief. Relief that you did not react emotionally. Relief that you did not sign prematurely. Relief that you did not speak destructively. The relief will carry gratitude with it. You were seconds away from aligning with something that would have drained your energy and diluted your focus. Instead, you aligned with wisdom. And wisdom built a path that feels solid beneath your feet. Your home feels different now because you are different now. The atmosphere shifted when your decision shifted. The heaviness lifted when you refused to carry what was not assigned to you. Peace has settled into your space not as a visitor, but as a resident. Financially, professionally, Relationally, you are no longer reacting. You are directing. You are not scrambling. You are stewarding. The lesson of the 10 seconds became a permanent filter for your life. Pause. Pray. Proceed. This pattern will protect you far beyond this season. Archangel Michael's assignment in your life was never about fear. It was about preserving destiny, and destiny has now begun to manifest without obstruction. There will still be decisions ahead. There will still be crossroads in your future. But now you know what to do when urgency pressures you. Now you recognize the difference between emotional impulse and spiritual instruction. That awareness is priceless. You avoided a season of regret. You preserved a season of reward. And the reward is not just external success. It is internal confidence. It is knowing that when heaven whispered, you listened. It is knowing that when the warning came, you responded. That obedience created acceleration. The very thing you feared losing has now grown stronger. The plans God prepared for you are not fragile. They are firm. They are unfolding with stability because they are rooted in wisdom. Archangel Michael's presence remains a symbol in your life, not of alarm, but of alignment. Whenever you feel pressure in the future, remember this season. Remember how close you came. Remember how protected you were. And remember that obedience preserved everything that mattered. You are not seconds away from loss anymore. You are standing inside fulfillment. Type IT was worth the pause in the comments if you receive this confirmation in your spirit. Blessing code 5005 is now activated over your destiny, your dwelling, and your decisions. And as this fulfillment settles over your life, understand this sacred truth. When you sow into the voice that warned you, you help rescue someone else who is standing at their own 10-second edge. The Lord declares, I will rebuke the devourer for your sake, and that promise is alive right now. If this message guarded your future, let your response guard another soul. I am stepping forward in obedience today, and I invite you to do the same. Release your seed through super thanks, step into membership, or use the PayPal link in the description as a prophetic act of alignment. As you give, may open heavens pour increase over your house and establish your plans firmly. Do not delay when the Spirit prompts you. Act now and let your obedience echo into eternity.